Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode, or actually another YouTube video actually of mine. Today I'm going to make a series of this. I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a mission from begin to end. I'm going to make a survivor story mission. For people who don't know what it is, a survivor story mission is a concept of mine I've made. It's very plain and simple. There's a group of survivors and they need to escape the island or the landscape. In order to do that, they need to reach the end objective. And I'm always posting where they can finish the mission. Like they know straight on where they need to go to end it. So it's a very open world challenging. It's a very open world mission. Of course there are going to be multiple objects there to keep the player busy. But when the player is like, okay, I have enough, they can always reach for the end or just go ahead, straight ahead for the end. So my idea was, because the last mission wasn't generous, they drove away with a boat. So what happened is this time I think I'm going to crash this boat here. So we're going to make a mission start here. These are markers, by the way. This is not an actually mission start. This is just a marker for me to place, but I'm going to make the mission start right here. It's also pretty nice isolated. That's my idea. So of course there are a lot of modules you can place with Ravage and other stuff. But just to be double sure, I always make sure that the spawn area is safe. Because it will be annoying if you just spawn in here and we're getting overrun by zombies. And by the way, this is a nice start. We're going to make a bridge here, because we need to make the player, kind of give them a hint where to go. Bridge. And we're going to make an end game. I'm going to make use of both islands, the big one, the main one, and the second main one. My idea was to make a mission ending around the furnace room. Keep in mind, every time I place a marker, I can just change it whenever I want. Mission and final. These are just markers for me to remember what I'm going to do, where I'm going to let the player guide through paths. Because you got some certain good points, because most of the players will obviously go to this bridge, so we're going to make something challenging here. So we're going to make a bridge scene. Just keep it like very open for yourself if you're a mission creator, because you want to make sure that your creativity gets in place right away. You can always change markers. Don't worry. Don't be afraid to adapt your starting stuff, or even midway a mission. But so okay, we know that we're going to make a bridge out of here. Staying in teams is very important, by the way, because you see this is in a jungle-ish tropical island, so we're going to make a pier. And we're not making it, let's see, no, we're not going to make this, because, well, this won't fit, this doesn't fit in the scenery, because things need to make sense for the player as well. So we can make a wooden bridge. I prefer not to make it too pristine, so we're going to check if there's another one. It's the same. Let's see. Wooden pier. Okay, this looks already way better. Next to it is more widened. It's also more, it fits up more. Is this like also pretty good, but I like this more. I don't know. It's your personal preference. So we know that this is way too high. You can, with Alt, you can rise and lower it, but even then, when you lower it, it won't be enough to, let it hit the ground. So we're going to change this to toggle vertical mode. We're taking this like this, that the arrow is flat. So now we can raise it more, and lower it more, like it will fit in, like this. So you get a smooth, realistic smooth layout. So we're going to copy this, we're going to paste it, And yeah, it takes a lot of time to make it like precise, but it pays off, trust me. Sometimes it's going to be like a little bit buggy and you need to toy a little bit with it. It's fine, it's all according. Yeah, that's just Arma being a bitch, don't worry. That's okay, so we have now a sloppy thing. We're going to fix this with a wooden plank. If this takes a little bit too much time, I can understand. We're going to, but I like to make things fit in, make it. Rather put in some effort and make it like really smooth than just just let it be there. Because not every player will notice that, of course not. But it's just those are just the final touches that make your mission, for example, very interesting. Because you always have concurration. You always have people, wanting to beat you. Where's the 4-meter plank? Oh, plank. Ah, here it is. So let's see. This is way better. Let's make it look more natural. So let's do this. Perfect. So I'm not going to continue building the pier for now because you get the idea. Everything needs to look natural. So we're going to first make this spawn position for now. So they had a boat. The boat will respond in a boss mission. You can, by the way, just change everything. I mean, if you're making your first mission, it's fine. It doesn't need to be perfect, but try to always fit your team. Your scenery needs to be your scenery is most of the time key. So, for example, last time they had like this boat. So we're going to place this boat right here. It's going to be stranded, and we're going to turn it. Oh, by the way, with this one, rotation widget number 3, you can rotate the object in multiple directions, as you can see. So we do this, and we keep this, remember, area flat, so we can like sink it a little bit in. So we're going to adjust this a little bit until it fits all the way. So of course, as soon as they see this, they will just hop on. So let's make some preparations. I'm going to put health like around 50%, 40%. Fuel empty. Ammunition also empty. It's not locked. It's going to be unlocked. We turn off damage because otherwise you need to always assume that people will try to see if they can break your mission. But I'm also, by the way, in the meantime, in the equipment storage, I'm deleting everything because I will give them the items they need for the mission. Okay. So if they blow themselves up, for example, when they, some people just wanted to play with an arsenal and just download some extra mods, and that's fine. But yeah, to keep that in mind, make sure that everything that is like needed for the mission is there and cannot explode. Okay, so we have now the boat. I'm going to place the players. We're going to pick men, survivor. So we're going to make this a 6-player mission. So we're going to add. Actually, we can make it 8 like this. It's no worries. So we're going to grab the group, and they're all individuals. You see? So if you hold control, you can just drag them and they're all here. Just if you again grab the entire group, for example, lift control, and click on one of the characters, and all you see this orange wire. Excuse me, it's not orange, I'm colorblind. And you can just attend it to, like, for example, like a soldier. If you want like all those groups, you move your orange dress like here, and they're all loose. They're not in one group anymore. They're all separated. So if you press Control again, I'm just going to give it to this guy, for example. So we're going to give these guys also cosmetics, a proper starting gear, and we need to make it. Let's do this first. We can always don't forget to click it like this, so people, yeah. It's very important that people don't glitch in the ground, because either it kills them or it bugs them so up it will be unplayable for them. Okay, so we're going to see what we have. Garbage. Yeah, we're going to give them a small medication. As you see, there's a slope here. We can either, you know, rotate it a little bit. Or I could just paste multiple small ones, or just multiple big ones until it fits entirely. But we're not going to spam the beach full. Let's see. That's too much actually. I'm going to just use one. You give them all playable. It's very important if you want to make player slots that you need to make them all playable. Role description is like the name of the roles in a menu. For example, we're gonna give him the name Johnson. He's also the main player. I mean, if you think this box is like the main player, the first person basically. For example, if you're a single player mission, make sure you have a player. Otherwise, there will be no, you know, main target, no main player. The main player is always aligned with the red circle. So I'm not going to get into too much details yet, but still, just to provide you the idea. If you go here with the bridge, we're going to make sure that there's, you know, something nice here to keep the players interested. Okay, so now we're going to start to think like, okay, players get here, they got the entire island. So what we're going to do, we got the sugar company, we're going to make a mark over there. And markers. We got the point of interest. Like, I know for now there's something that I'm going to do with the players, and I can either like keep this like that like even this. I can even keep this on the map even after I placed everything, because it will also like provoke the players to go there, because they're very curious what it means, or what's laying there. So for example, I can make a trap here that like multiple armed groups are trying to kill them, with of course as a reward some proper good loot. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got this road. Players can also go in the jungle. Let's see what we have here. A village in the jungle. A big town. Oh, to make sure that their FPSs stay properly in big towns, your FPS is either dropping. So there's always an option, like if you're going to make an open world mission, do we want the player in here? Those are always the big questions. So I'm probably going to make this closed area by placing radiation in this. So we're going to place a flag and call it radiation. I'm going to grab an area, an eclipse, and we're going to make it 400, 400. And from solid we go to cross. Did you go? Well, it can even be bigger. I think it can be from 1000. Pretty big city. Pretty much FPS drops. I think that's fine. So if we keep this in mind, okay. Like this. So over there's also an island. No, this is way too far to build a bridge, and I'm going to give the player the idea that like there's life ahead around. So what we can do, for example, is to place a wreck. Doesn't, for example, I'm going to place a fuel truck. Place it. Oh, please don't. Place it right there. And we go to systems, and we go to effects. I'm going to place smoke. We place it around here. Double click it. Check it. All the values. No, those are fine. Effect size I want it bigger. Particle wind effect. Okay, it's all fine. So, for example, if the player walks here, they will probably see the smoke coming from up there. But of course, this is all like the small IDs because I'm going to plan this mission nighttime, so I'm not entirely sure how what. But those are the playtests for, that's why you're going to play the mission 5,000 times before you actually release it, to make sure everything works as intended. I'm not quite happy yet with this, so I'm going to do this. Okay, this is better. Let's see what we have here. This is actually nice. Okay. And barrel. So for example, we can make here the in case a player falls in the water, I'm going to give them a way out. Actually, way up. It's always, if you're close to an area, always make sure that people can reach back to the group. Because people hated to replay stuff over punishment that like they didn't feel like they didn't deserve. So let's place this here. Like this. And we can place like this. This. Let's see. That looks pretty nice. We're going to place, for example, some lights here to draw the person's attention, to draw the player the attention. Like, hey, what's going on over there? Because they need to discover this bridge, of course. Always when you're building a mission, always think like, okay, you know all this knowledge. You know that there's a bridge there. You know that there are some certain sceneries and some certain triggers and some certain booby traps, for example. But the player doesn't know that. Always keep in mind that the player doesn't know anything. He's pure blank. He's just there. He's just walking around and he has no clue what the fuck's going on 9 out of 10 times. So you need to guide them, for example, with either sound cues or visual cues or light cues. Lights are pretty good as a visual way of saying like, hey, this is the way. Because if you're going to make it night time, for example, let's do that. We're going to make it, for example, nighttime. Let's see if is this dark enough. 8 o'clock. Okay. So, for example, you start here and I don't know. You basically see nothing. Yeah, it's still the way, like a little light, so now you see stuff. But for example, it can even be darker. So you're going to place a light cue here, and it doesn't need to be like a big major light, like hey guys, here we need to be. But for example, it can be like let's see, a lamp. For example, I like those, like the new lights, the new rocket portable lamp. I'm not going to make it militarized because we're going to make this like a farmer side. Let's do this. Okay. Where's my hero? Where's my hero? So for example, just to show you, place this character. Not entirely sure though if the light is in the right position. But that's also not to see. Okay, yeah. So over here now you see like a light over there, like hey, what's going on? It's pointing at me. So people, most of the time people have weapons and they see light their direction. First, for a moment they hide, and slowly, like, get curious. What is there? Or they tend to dodge it entirely, but like, for after they walked around the island, they're like, okay, we either go swimming for like, let's swim for like around 10 minutes, or we take the bridge and maybe need to fight. But once they get closer, they're like, oh, it's just a place light. Yeah. So yeah, this is basically. Also need to place like small rewards. For example, a cache with some ammo in it, or weapons, or med packs, or other stuff, just to give the player the IDs heading the right way, to confirm his suspicion, because the player is never 100% sure most of the time. So it's a job to give the player the confirmation that he is heading the right way and that he is doing the right thing. Because if a player needs to search way too long for let's say a way of this island to the other island, he's getting, he's losing interest. And if someone losing interest, someone is not having fun. And the goal as a mission creator is to let people have fun. So of course we're not going to spam this, every 2 meters. No, we're going to place another one, let's say in the opposite side on this position. Just to give you an idea like this. Oh, hold on. For example, like this. So people have like, okay, there's like, to get to confirmation that this is like handmade build and it makes sense. It's like a fishing pier, not really for boats. Boats go this way. It's not a deep water, but still not for fishermen, for example. So you can place some fisher cages or some other stuff here that confirms it. Actually, can I check it already if I have something? Fish. Fishing gear. Yeah, for example, here fishing nets here even. You can place that, for example, right here. Let's see if that fits. Goes here. No, no, it's not. It needs to fit in perfectly. This doesn't fit in perfectly. We're going to get another one. Fishing nets, maybe. No, it's the same. Excuse me. Is it though? I think this is better. Let's see. Let's see. Oh. Okay, like. Let's see. I see now immediate penetration of the wood, so that's good. Okay, this is not ready for the player to see. Okay, this is for the player to see. Like this. And this is okay. So we need to find something else. I think I got it. Cage. Drop cages. Yeah. Okay, so for example, we're going to give the person the confirmation that this is a fishing area. So we're going to place fisher caves with, you know, crabs, for example. We're not going to place this directly here because we're going to reward, you know, the player here. But he's heading the right way. This can be gone. But this is just to give you guys the idea, like how to give people information what is going on there. So we want to prevent the people from going to the right side. However, there are buildings there that give light. So people always go to the village and search for supplies. That's fine and all. But make sure that you give enough hints that the people need to go the other side because this is radiation. For example, you can keep this on the map, but for example, before the person actually reaches this, make sure that you place. Yeah. This is the mirror. You place around the lumberyard, for example, like some car racks and say like nuclear radiation nearby or something like that, or like a few bodies with a letter like do not go further, or make signs that can make sure the player gets distracted from it. Which, yeah, you can also like lure them with shinies. For example, make a flare appear here in this near the mountain, and some gun sounds, so the player gets curious. Or you could like use an audio file, for example, make one of the players say like, I don't think we should go here. I think there's still radiation, for example, after the bombs dropped. Just to give you an idea, like how you need to inform the player. So, for example, we have a town. How do we make it look like it's been fucking turned apart by zombies? The infection has spread. Okay, so we're going to make it visual representing. I think it's a good one for next time. Next time I'm going to show you how to make a city like it's been abandoned, or it's like there's a post-apocalyptic city because of zombie plagues or other, you know, resolutions. So I'm going to call it a night for now. If you have questions, feel free to, you know, paste them or write them on the YouTube video, so I can study the question and see if I can give you an answer, or even give an answer in the next upload. So yeah, let me know. Bye bye.